Welcome, friends, to Tanked Up, the podcast about video games and beer. I'm Ben, here with Aadil.
It's me!
And Lucy.
It's also me.
That was
Two me's and a you.
Yeah, Charles Martinet is just hanging out in the background waiting for us to introduce him so he can do it. No, we won't. Sorry, Charles, you have to stay off this week.
He's
Has
retired anyway.
by Chris Pratt?
I don't know who the new voice is.
There is
They haven't
a new
revealed
voice.
that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm hijacking right at the top of the episode. You can tell I've been to the pub and have had a long stretch of horribleness, which is just the beginning of the term. But has anyone actually seen the Mario movie to hear what Mario sounds like in the thingy?
Yeah, I saw that movie. It sounds like Chris Pratt.
Okay, so because didn't he make a big deal about I'm gonna make a voice, and this can be the best Mario ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like Chris Pratt. it sounds like Emmett. I could have been watching the Lego movie and I wouldn't know the difference.
You've made me sad. I forgot that he's Emmett, and I really liked the Lego movie, and I
think he does a decent job. It's one of those voices where you can turn your brain off, and it's I don't recognise it's Chris Pratt because he just sounds like everybody else, but he sounds like Chris Pratt. He doesn't sound like Mario.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're
sometimes
saying is
he puts on a bit of a Brooklyn accent, but then most of the time it's just like, yeah.
Okay. Well, good to know.
Right, I mean, it's good to know in the sense...
Was the movie good?
I really enjoyed it. Because it's one of those where you can just turn your brain off.
What I heard it was essentially like fan service the movie, but in a way that worked.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, I like this. Turns out.
Yeah, because...
if you're a fan of Mario, you're a fan of Mario's fan service, so the movie worked.
Yeah, because it's like, Luigi thought he killed the dry bones, and then he didn't. And it's like the dry bones came back, and it's like I know it would come back because I know Mario,
I know
and that was funny. Yeah. What was your question?
He didn't spin. Hey. Classic rookie mistake.
Do you say Mario or Mario? It's Mario.
Mario, yeah. Mario.
You say Mario. You both say Mario.
Not Mario.
Mario. It's Mario.
Yeah, Mario.
I say Mario? Do I say Mario? The Mario Brothers. Yeah, I say Mario. I'm okay with that.
Mario. Yeah, it's just one of those regional things, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. That's why I asked. I was just like,
Yes.
I'm sure go back to episode.
We'll have all have said the word.
We definitely had this conversation.
Yeah. We'll have said the word naturally through many different episodes as well. Whatever we say without thinking about it too much.
Super Mario Galaxy?
The Super Marios. I don't know. Now you've questioned me. I've got no idea.
Mario. You say it's Mario.
The Mario. The Super Mario.
That plumber.
Yeah, the Plumber Boys.
Plum Boy. Let's just call him Plum Boy.
Should we open
Plum
up
Boy
some
Galaxy.
drinks?
What a great game.
I'm gonna have a drink. I've not been allowed to drink for a week because I've been on
which is why we've been off.
Antibiotics, yes, and my tooth was extracted from my face. So
you're one of those antibiotics people, hey?
Well, they told me. They said, "Hey, you need to take these, otherwise you'll be in some serious trouble." So I thought I better, and they also said, "Don't drink on these, because then you'll be in even more serious trouble." So I'm like 48 hours since having antibiotics, so I'm going to open up a beer.
An Englishman not with a beer for 48 hours.
I know, it's crazy. Absolutely
I'm surprised you're not desiccated.
Just a husk.
To be fair, actually, if you go to the pub, the guys who're there all the time, they look desiccated, so it's clearly not a beer thing.
Yeah.
Look
rejuvenated, perhaps, by having a whole
you'll bloom.
Yes,
you'll get that lovely red glow that British men get.
I'm drinking a beer that I have had in the fridge for a week. It was purchased over a week ago. It's a Wiper and True, and it's the Oktoberfestbier. It is 5.8%. There's lots of flavour text. Our take on the traditional Bavarian Oktoberfestbier, originally brewed every year by only 5 Munich breweries to celebrate German Germany's annual Carnival of Fun. Designed by our very own Bavarian brewmaster, Marvin, our Oktoberfest beer pours a bright golden colour. It has a satisfying malt character that tastes a little like the nicest bread crust you ever ate, and is hopped with German-grown Hallertau, traditional for gentle bitterness and a touch of herbal balance. Gently carbonated, this is a smooth, sipping, easy drinking beauty of a beer. Prost. Store and serve chilled, and then the rest of the bits. Cool.
I really like the can art.
Yeah, the lederhosen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the is it on a hanger or sort of silhouette?
Yes.
Yes. Lederhosen, but like the curves of the drawing feel like someone's wearing them.
Yeah, absolutely. They feel a little bit fleshed out. It's got the.
They're not like on a hanger and flat, right? There's like if you look at like the legs, they just have a bit of like rounded bloom that suggests legs are in them.
And it's got
even
the
though
little
there's literally a hanger on them.
I don't know if they're a reindeer or a stag on them as well, which is one of their symbols for some of their Christmas beers that they put out as well. So a little bit of repetition as well, which is nice. So I will get this poured. Aadil, what are you going to drink this evening?
I've got the Overflow by Sofia Electric Brewing.
Ooh.
It's a 500ml can. Keep it 6 to 8%. It's an IPA, 6.7%. Plateau, 18 degrees. Sofia is Greek, if you can tell.
Is that Bulgarian?
I thought it was Greek.
How are you spelling?
No, it's Bulgarian. You're right. It just
it
just has Greek symbols in one of the bits of the things, but also Cyrillic. Right. So it's probably EU multiple thing. I just
right.
So it's Bulgarian. That makes sense. Sofia. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been a week, man. It's been more than a week. My life is just.
We'll let you off with that one. We'll let you off with that one.
So yeah, it's a 6.7% IPA.
Nice. 6.7% dipper.
Yeah.
Did you say?
IPA.
Oh, IPA. Oh, okay, sorry. I misheard. Lucy.
It's because no one says IPA. It's fine.
True.
I said a thing non-standardly, and you're like, well, if it sounds like IPA, it's either a dipper or maybe a tipper, and it's just an IPA.
What are you talking about, man? Lucy, I saw you flash your can up. What are you drinking this evening?
I did. I've got a beer called Honeymaker, which is a double New England IPA. Okay. It's a double New England IPA, so I was going to be like, Nipper? That doesn't work. It's
Silent D, maybe.
Yeah. It's 8%. It's brewed with locally sourced honey, and it is from Widowmaker Brewing, who are in Braintree, MA. Is that
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Maybe.
Okay. Maine is ME?
Don't know. That was a guess. I don't know.
We'll assume it's Massachusetts.
ME is Maine.
Yeah, ME is Maine, yeah. MA is Massachusetts.
MA is Massachusetts.
Well done.
More like
MI is
Mississippi.
Minnesota. MS is Mississippi.
Is it?
MI
is Michigan, probably, right?
Minnesota?
No, Minnesota is a city.
Michigan,
rather than a state,
Minnesota's MN.
MN.
Okay. I was right. It's Michigan.
Montana is MO, I'm guessing then. Anyway, this
What's
really
the
doesn't
M's? Where's all these the M's?
No, Missouri is MO.
Oh. MT is Montana. MT.
I mean, process of elimination of letters. It is. And
That's
NB is Nebraska. Should we keep going? What are we doing?
This will be good for your next quiz.
I don't think a British pub quiz is going to have state codes.
It would be a good
America.
one. We'd do all right. But yeah, this is from Massachusetts. One of the beers that I bought recently was from Burlington Beer, who are also in the States. Can't remember where. It might be Massachusetts as well.
We
somewhere in New England.
Yeah.
And
Vermont.
yeah, it disappointed me a bit.
Right.
Vermont. All right, it disappointed me a bit. It wasn't honey. In fact, neither of their beers that I had impressed me that much, other than the can art. But I'll I don't know if that's because they didn't make the trip as well as other beers or what. So I'll keep an open eye, but I'm hoping this honey beer is more honey-y than the last one.
Yeah.
You don't really see them a lot.
No, you don't.
It smells delightful. Though.
I know every time we've kind of had them, even UK beer, that's a lovely kind of density to it there, Lucy. But yeah, every time we've sort of had them over here, they've always been a little bit lacking, perhaps, or it's not been, the honey's maybe not been quite paired with something that fills it out. Perhaps. But,
it's weird because it's like you think with honey, there's your body and sweetness all there in the honey, but yeah.
Paired, you think paired up with some sort of bready maltiness might be sort of quite just a bit of honey on toast in a beer. That's what you want. I think people tend to edge more towards the kind of bacon. Slightly sort of more, the more fruity, maybe more sort of herbal kind of side with their kind of honey beers. Marrying it up with that sort of thing. But I don't think I've seen a honey beer for absolutely ages, at least to pick up in the shops that I frequent. But we'll roll back round to this Oktoberfest beer. It's incredibly clear, as you would sort of expect. There's a little bit of head that poured out with it, but that's gone pretty swiftly. Super light nose. A little bit of that breadiness on the nose that they were suggesting. It's a little sweet. Not much, but a little bit of sweetness coming off the nose. Oh, that's a goddamn crisp beer.
Wow, a crisp rat.
Good boy.
It's a crisp rat. Yes.
Crisp. Have you not heard of this? Crisp rat?
No, I haven't heard of crisp rat.
Online nickname is Crisp Rat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't even think he is that. I think that's the funny part is he's not even a crisp rat.
I mean, we just use Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very merry old England.
Yes.
Yeah. Pratt.
This is really nice.
Nice.
It is really crisp. It's not refreshing because of that bitterness that's within it. I don't feel refreshed. It's really dry as well, like incredibly dry. So I'll have a sip and you get a touch of sweetness and a little bit of that bready malt. But that bitterness kicks in really, really quickly. And I don't think not to a fault. It's a really nice bitterness. It's very smooth. It's quite easy. The carbonation is doing a lot to push that bitterness to me as well. And those first couple of flavours are a little bit fleeting. But that bitterness hits after a couple of seconds and then just dries out really, really quickly. And it leaves me with I have a little bit of kind of, and it is more, I would say, malty sweetness that's in there than kind of anything else. It leaves me with a little bit of that right at the back of my mouth, but not much else. And I think it's maybe not quite one-dimensional, but at least there's those couple of things going on, and they're going on really well, and they marry quite nicely together without needing anything else within this. 5.8% is quite a reasonable ABV for this beer because it is one of those. It feels very dangerous. This could go back incredibly quickly, and suddenly you're like 3 or 4 in without really thinking about it. So if this is one of those beers that if it came as a 4-pack, it would be a very easy pickup for me to just be like, cool, I just want something in my fridge. This is perfect, over the summer to sort of to have. And I like a bit more of a bitter kind of lager or a pilsner sort of thing. So this sits well within my kind of wheelhouse of what I want from a beer like this. So yeah, this is very nice. Now I shall continue drinking it very, very quickly, and we'll roll back round to you, Aadil.
All right, so this is the Overflow, just an IPA. It's got I'm going to guess there's mosaic in it. It's got a light tropical, slightly citrus nose. Kind of a bit delicate. A nice little bit of malty sweetness as well. It's also lovely and opaque. Just this gloriously hazy looking honey color. It's a bit more golden in person than with the lighting on stream. Oh yeah, that's great. That's nice and just enough zestiness from the citrus to give you a little perk.
Mm-hmm.
Ends a bit malty. Something between passion fruit and pineapple. It's like the main body of its tropicaliness. But again, it has that sweetness, malty sweetness all the way through. So as that tropical fades away, that sweetness stays at the same point. I'm curious how that'll, because it's so steady. I'm mildly worried that like when my palate gets used to it, it'll just like fade to the background and I won't have that balance.
Yeah.
So that'll be a thing I'll report by the end of the beer. But it's really good. It's really, for the first beer I've had from Sofia Electric, I would definitely, if I saw another one, I would buy one. Like, it's a good beer.
Nice.
But I think that's one of the things when you have a beer from a new brewery, if you can easily say, yep, this is good, I would try it again. That's a thing to flag. Even if with this concern of maybe the interesting notes might get faded, maybe not. But that's my one worry about it right now. It's still a really solid IPA. Again, I think it's the 6.7 makes sense because it's got a richness to its body, which is where I think the ABV is like helping maintain in a way that these tasting notes on like a session would feel a bit flat.
Okay.
Texture-wise, it's got, again, that viscosity of a 6+% beer, so it just gives it a bit more of a fullness without having to have any difference in the tasting notes. But yeah, so really good on first impression. Nothing fancy. It tastes like a solid, slightly tropical IPA with a bit of a malty backbone.
Okay.
A sweet malty backbone. So we're getting just this like sweetness that's clearly from malts and not from hops. And that's what like is blending it really well. So solid beer. By the end, we'll see if I think things faded. That's just like a possible. Sorry, I just realized that I have spilt beer on this keyboard and was trying to rub it off.
Hopefully not too much.
No, it was like a when there's like a droplet that like you can't spot, and then like weeks later, you're like, oh, the light is glinting off the plastic, and there's this little bit. So, yeah, good beer,
good, nice. Lucy, the Honeymaker, was it?
The Honeymaker, yes. It's just golden in color, yellowy golden. Yeah, and it's opaque like Aadil's beer. I mean, I've already tried it, and it's very nice. So, no notes.
None at all. Good. Move on.
No, but as you were saying, Ben, like, yes, I think it's got that like bready maltiness in it that adds to the sweetness, and you've got the honey in there. And the sweetness, it's not subtle. It's not at all, because it is sweet, but it's not overwhelmingly sweet. It's got a nice soft finish, and you'd think, oh, maybe a bit more carbonation would, round off or lessen the sweetness, but it doesn't need that, because the sweetness is, as I say, it's like honey, where it's not just, oh, you're just pouring a teaspoon of sugar in your mouth.
Sure.
It's a bit more subtle and a bit more, it's got a longer tail to it, the sweetness, and as I say, it's sweet, but you're not getting like any bitterness on the finish or anything like that, but it's really nice. It just tastes like like the many dippers of like a few summers ago, because nobody makes dippers anymore, hardly. Just like
the hipper again.
Yeah, understandably so, but yeah, it's just like those. I like those used to be, where it's like, oh, this is like massively fruity, and you're getting like sweetness from the fruit, and you're also getting sweetness from the honey in this, but it's just pared back enough and not overwhelmingly sweet, like say a a stout where they're just throwing chocolate at you or vanilla or whatever adjuncts are in it, and it's just overly sweet. It's nothing like that. It's a very sweet IPA, but I guess it's a New England IPA as well, so it's like it's not going to be like a West Coast where they're going more for the bitterness.
Yeah,
they're going much more for the fruit and the sweetness with this, and yeah, it really works. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it.
Good.
I want more, but they're in Massachusetts. Let's go to Massachusetts. They're not that far.
Nah,
on the East Coast.
Quick flight. Easy. Bop about a little bit. Pick some breweries. Bop about some. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really not. Did it have anything like what the hops were? Doesn't say, but I don't imagine there's like a good dose of Citra in there.
Not a brewery. I would imagine you get much over here. Was it just a bottle shop find?
Yeah, just a bottle shop find. Ooh.
And
you are finding more, like US beers coming over here. Like I had a Trillium the other day. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's good.
Yours, Aadil, where was yours from as well as a new brewery? Brewery I haven't heard. I meant, sorry. Where did you purchase it from?
Oh, Hopknocker, I think.
Okay. So again, like a bottle shop.
It took me a second. I was like, did I get it there? Because I usually get things there. Yeah, it was Hopknocker.
Yeah. Fair. Nice to see places bringing in more breadth and different breweries and stuff as well. So good. Let's enjoy these and move on to games for this week. Has anyone got anything they want to talk about? Maybe they have an obligation to fulfill on any codes that we've had in at all.
Oh shit! I forgot all about that game. I will play it this weekend.
Ooh,
which one?
Which one's this?
Benba, the one that's like a month old.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's okay. We've spoken about it. And...
Yeah.
It's an hour. You can do it. You can do it.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll just mute and grab my Steam Deck and be.
Yeah, you could literally finish it.
My beer was good, also my game's good.
You could finish it before we finish this podcast, for sure.
We can get towards the end as we're wrapping up. You're like, well, I'm halfway through at least. Initial impressions. Lucy, what have you been up to? What have you been playing?
I'll talk about a game that I will probably write something for on my Substack, which is JuicyLoose9 at substack.com or something similar. Put it in Google and I'm sure you'll find it. It's called Midnight Girl, and it came out on at least Steam for sure. On last Friday.
Okay.
Was it last Friday? Where are we? Anyway, it came out last week.
Yeah. Early October release.
Sure. Yes, it came out last week. And it is a point-and-click adventure game. Nice. So everyone with your bingo cards, tick that one off. Yes, because I love my point-and-click adventure games. Yes. And this is very much in the vein of point-and-click adventure game that I enjoy. It's not striving to be like old school point-and-click adventure games of yore, where you have like, a massive inventory and you have to combine inventory items and, it's dense full of humor or anything like that. It's not really like a LucasArts game in that sense. It's far more straightforward.
Okay.
Sometimes to a bit of a fault. Sometimes it is a bit too easy. I don't know if it's because my brain is wired that way, where I just know point-and-click adventure games. I'm good at them. I know I'm like 5 steps ahead of like most of the puzzles. So I mean that could be a negative if you're looking for something with a lot more challenge. But for me, it's something that's just, even though the puzzles are easy and you are like a couple of steps ahead of some of them, you still feel smart, knowing that you can figure them out and you can, without the need of a guide or a hint system. I don't think this game has one. But I'd say this would be like a really good game for children, and I say that with like a lot of respect and reverence for a game that can be, because making a kids game is hard because you have to make it simple but still enjoyable. It doesn't mean that like kids games are just crap and faff. It's like some of them are, goddamn, some of them are, but like to make a good kids game, it takes skill, it takes craft, and I think this would be a good one for like a kid starting out on like point and click adventures where it's like everything makes sense in the world. There's not a lot of items that you have on your person like at any one point, and everything has a logical, consistent solution to it. What I like best about it is the art style. It's basically, I guess it's inspired by like sort of like, let's say mid 1920s, say like French like art and posters and film noir kind of thing. The actual game is set in Paris. Well, I think it's Paris, but definitely France in the 1960s. And you're playing as a cat burglar who's met up with this other cat burglar, and they're planning this heist. Which actually makes sense in the context of like adventure games, because in any other adventure game, you're just walking into people's places and just stealing stuff. You're just picking stuff up and stuff like that. So it actually makes sense to have a game where you're a thief. Actually,
it's actually what you're meant to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, rather than you just like Guybrush thief, Threepwood, and just taking everything from everyone.
Guybrush Thiefwood. Yeah.
Threepwood. Yeah, and I mean. Those games make reference to the fact that he is just going around and stealing stuff, which is quite funny. But yeah, so it makes sense in the context of a game which is actually, planned around a heist. And it's there's a weird dichotomy with that, because it's like you're planning a heist and it's like this Ocean's 11 level of complexity of a heist, and yet the puzzles are very easy. It's like, okay, all I need is like some bolt cutters and a stethoscope, and I can break into this vault. But so that's a bit weird. But yeah, it's just an enjoyable point and click adventure game. It's probably like 3 hours. The art is incredible. If you look at it on like Steam, just do really clever things with like the art that makes it so moody and atmospheric, and have like really moody lighting. And stuff
it's the
like
lighting. The lighting is really, really good.
I was spamming my screenshot button on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's got that little feel of. It very much says it's inspired by sort of Belgian comics and heist films of the 60s, and it does have that little bit of kind of like Tintin aesthetic to it. But it also reminds me a little bit of Counter Spy, which is a game from I don't know, maybe 10 or so years ago now.
Oh my god! So when like a month ago or so, I like revived my Vita.
Yeah.
One of the games I own on PS Plus or whatever, or like own on the PS system, was Counter Spy, and I was so happy to start playing that game again on the Vita. It's also like a perfect Vita game.
Yeah.
That's where I played it.
It's such a good game that like we may have talked about a couple times, but like it has stood the test of time. It's a solid game. So if you're like both like gameplay and artistically, I think one of the reasons why it's aged so well is that art style of that like
kind of Soviet art style, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
like
almost.
So like brusque, minimal sort of ism on a like like what if you had cell shading but you chose to not use a lot of shading because you're doing that Soviet sort of like brusqueness,
very hot,
but it has just enough of that cell shading in the art style to give some depth, but everything's kind of still feels kind of flat and like boxy.
It does, but it was like quite colourful still. So it had that sort of like Soviet, it had that sort of that feel to it, but very much more a kind of a 60s vibe, very, very colourful, full of
Cold War,
and this kind of Midnight Girl reminds me a little bit of that, just in its use of kind of like colour and that.
No, that's a good comparison.
But again, there's also a game. I think you and I played it, Lucy, on mobile, which was
Silent Age.
No, it was.
Well, that's the one I was thinking of. That was like...
It came out in episodes and was it was a bit more of a puzzly, heisty kind of thing. The first episode, you went into a house and had to figure out a bunch of puzzles. Where you're like a spy. Again, another game where you're a spy sort of thing.
I know exactly what you're on about.
Colour palette and tone and stuff similar to that sort of thing. I won't remember the name of it now. Something we talked about probably.
For the life of me, I can't. I played it ages ago.
Yeah, it was ages ago.
I'll look for the name of it then. But,
it's not Matchington Mansion, is it?
No.
My bad Googling has got me to a game called Matchington Mansion, which I know if either of you had ever mentioned that dumb name of a game, it would have stuck in my head. But there is an Android game called Matchington Mansion. Sorry.
I've not heard of that one before.
But no one had.
No, absolutely not.
It looks, oh my god. Do you have a knack for home decor and matching puzzles? Match pillows for a house makeover in this fun Match 3 adventure. For some reason, mobile game Spy House Google results gave me that game.
Agent A.
Yes. Yeah.
That was it, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I do remember you guys talking about this. I almost played it. I downloaded it. I put it on my phone, which for me, huge step.
Nice.
Yes.
That's practically me finishing a game.
Just watching it tick. 100% good. It's there. Perfect. We can come back to it at some point.
You know, if I had a superpower, everyone's like, oh, invincibility and all this. I would very much like to look at an art style or hear a type of music and know exactly what genre it is. I think that would be such a great
are a myth. There's no such thing as genres because there's.
I know, but you know what I mean, Aadil. Come on, I'd like to be able to be like, oh, that's that. Just by hearing it or looking at it, it's like, oh yeah, that's Gaudi-esque. I don't know, but anyway, yeah.
That's not a genre. Nice. That's a descriptor. What is this power you want, Lucy?
To crush you.
Yeah,
I think Lucy, you have that power already.
Yeah.
I as a power, I would just want to be able to slow time right down, so I can play a game and it be like I can experience a 40-hour RPG or something, and then it'd be like 2 minutes.
But then you'd
later,
live twice.
No, that's speeding time up.
Awful.
If you slow it down, a 40-hour RPG is like 120 real-time hours for you. If you slow it down. You want to
pause time like Bernard's Watch
with Max Payne bullet time, where you're like, click, attack, left.
You want Bernard's Watch
Goblin
to stop
4
time.
times materia.
Yeah, I want to slow time down.
Slow time
down.
So I
move at correct the normal speed, but everyone else around me is incredibly slow.
You want Bernard's Watch. You want to stop time.
Yeah.
And then continue it when you're ready.
You want to be the Flash, right? You want your relative time to be.
No, because you're still moving.
I want to stay at the same time. I don't want all my organs to be moving around at fucking ridiculous speeds. I want to move at the same time.
Your organs are part of you.
I just want to slow everyone else down.
What is the you that doesn't include your organs? No. You need to explain this. This is insane.
Surely the Flash. Surely his body is a fucking mess.
No, because he must have some reinforced rib cage and can take the G-force.
Speed Force thing. So what I like about especially the 80s 90s Flash comics is the way they show him being fast is he's just moving at a different rate. Mm-hmm. So he casually walks through there was a shooter in a movie theater in one of the comics I for some reason remember, and he's just casually walking through the movie theater and he's grabbing bullets and pulling them away before they hit people and looking for the guy. But because he's still human, he's also grabbing candy bars from people to eat so he can maintain the metabolism to go at that speed. Mm-hmm. It's such a really neat way of thinking about it, because he's basically just mowing down on cinema food while catching bullets, and then punches the guy doesn't move, and then he relaxes, and so he now re-enters time at the same pace, and the exit sign gets shot because he missed a bullet, and that guy hits the deck, and no one else dies. And that's the kind of thing I think you're trying to describe of the like. I
He's
want
a lame
time to be a
character.
different thing for me. Because
Flash
if
is
it's
a lame
I want
character.
time to slow down when I play video games, the video game doesn't change its pace. So then you're just like watching it menu select.
No,
Bernard's
the
watch,
video
I'm telling
game.
you.
I suppose yes, that's it. Me and my sphere of things within it stay at the same speed as me. So
you
yes,
want to have
I
a
agree.
pocket dimension where you can play video games and like spend 40 hours playing a game and then not have the responsibilities of that 40 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's what I want. Perfect.
This is a tangent.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Aadil, what do you
Midnight
want
Girl's
as a
really
superpower?
good. Yeah.
No superpowers.
It's really good. I'll probably write about something.
So
about
good game.
Yeah, good point and click adventure game.
Mm.
Real pretty, good sound design. Story's a bit, weird.
Okay.
Like, just in the context of, puzzles are quite easy, but you're planning a heist, and that should be a bit more complex, but very enjoyable nonetheless.
Good.
Cup of tea game. Cup of tea.
I'd be remiss to not say that it has a demo up on Steam as part of the current Steam Next Fest as well.
I played that probably a few months ago, and
Right.
I was just like, I want to see more. So and it delivered. So
good.
Go and play that, and it will give you a pretty good snapshot of what the game is. And if you enjoy that, if you're sick like me and love point and click adventure games, then Midnight Girl is another good one. Another good one, because some can be quite bad.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is good.
Good. Okay. Perfect. Got anything else you want to move on to for this week?
I can talk about the shooty.
If you want to talk about the shooty, absolutely. Like initial impressions of the shooty, I guess.
Yeah, the shooty that everybody likes. I understand why, because it's pretty good.
Hang on,
shooty.
Hang on. Let me just check an email. Let me just double check an email that you're allowed to talk about the shooty.
Oh no!
Wait,
bad. It's bad. I didn't mean it was good. It's terrible.
No, I think I like the idea that the email's like, look, you can't say anything positive until day X, but you can say something negative whenever. That's the kind of weird, like...
There's embargoes where it's like, you can't say if it's good or if it's bad, but you can talk about the game objectively.
No, I get what you're saying. I just like the idea that you're like, this is what I can say. It's bad.
If I can talk about the game,
you can probably talk about it.
I can talk about it objectively. It's an open beta.
Is it open or is it closed?
Yeah.
It's not open for well, it's an open beta, but it's not open for... It's open for people who pre-ordered.
Right.
It's open to the public.
Cool.
So impressions are public because people who have access are just regular people.
Yep.
So there's nothing stopping you from having a regular opinion.
Yeah.
Perfect. No,
if
absolutely.
Not,
it's just not the case that anyone and their dog has access and has opinion.
Yes, I can't see anything that suggests that we cannot say whatever you want about it. So crack on.
Okay. Bobby Cooked. Anyway.
Fuck Activision.
Did you see that he had like James Corden like in some...
Yeah, what the fuck is that about? So
just the worst people in the room.
Yeah, Activision, Bobby Kotick.
Like one
for
of the
some
Kardashians
reason,
there as well.
Yeah, they've hired a bunch of like celebrities to
What is this game?
What?
You've just
games?
Shooty, and now you're talking about James Gordon.
Games?
Maybe you just say the game in which you are now discussing. Maybe just say the title.
So,
I think it's okay.
Lucy's been playing a little bit of the new Call of Duty game.
What? There's a new Call of Duty?
Yes, a new Call of Duty.
I was waiting for that fucking stupid line, and then you guys skipped over it. I'm like...
Sorry.
But
legitimately, until today, I didn't realize there was a new Call of Duty. That's how like out of touch I've been.
I mean, there is one every year, isn't there? Still.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a year where they've. Or did they?
There might be. They might have just, like,
I think there's maybe
talk.
I think there was maybe talk where it was like, we can't get this out the door, and then they did, and it's probably rubbish. I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I don't play Call of Duty every year. I haven't played it in several years. This is Modern Warfare 3, which isn't a I had to Google this, which isn't a remake of Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, it's not Modern Warfare 3 remaster.
It's a sequel to the Modern Warfare 2 remaster, which came out a few years ago or last year.
Was the recent Modern Warfare 2 a remaster
of the sequel of the original, but
it was a remake? Sorry,
the remaster.
More a remake. Modern Warfare 2 was remade in a year that was recent. Not sure which one. Not sure which Call of Duty came out last year or the year before or the year before that.
This is maybe I should do my research. Modern Warfare 3.
Yes. So Modern Warfare 2.
Not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Yes.
No.
Because Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 came out in 2011 and was a sequel to a shit you got, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Now we're looking at a game that came out in 2023 that is a sequel to 2022's Modern Warfare 2, which was a remake of Modern Warfare 2. But this isn't the remake of Modern Warfare 3. This is a sequel to the remake of Modern Warfare 2.
Yes. So
what the actual goddamn fuck? Sorry.
Yeah. The series was rebooted with Call of Duty Modern Warfare in 2019. What came out after that then? What came out? So Modern.
This is so dumb. Just give me a
because I played the
Black Ops.
I played the Modern Warfare reboot, which came out in 2019, the single player, and that was pretty good. And I think yes, I did play some multiplayer because I was wondering why are the maps. I know they reuse maps and stuff like that, classic maps that are very good. I mean, whoever those designers were back in the day, like, just did God's work, and that's why it still holds up today. But I was wondering why the maps, because I was like, where are the Modern Warfare 3 maps? And it's like they're not here because it's not Modern Warfare 3. It's Modern Warfare 3 in all but name. So yes, the reboot came out in 2019, and that was Modern Warfare. Then Modern Warfare 2.
But this is where it gets weird, because Modern Warfare 2 in the reboot was an actual remake of Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
this one is a sequel to Modern Warfare 2, but isn't a remake of Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, I think it's... So Modern Warfare, the 2019 Modern Warfare was like a reimagining, and I think they changed the story They changed the story, basically.
Yes.
They might have had similar characters, so it's still
I couldn't remember it.
Colonel Price, and Soap, or whatever the fuck he's called, and Johnny and
is that the
Ghost
one where they changed like the war crime from like America to some other nation? Potentially, said Russia did it.
Potentially, that's 2. That's Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, with the no Russian mission. Where you walk through, where you're the undercover agent. You're the undercover agent. You walk through the airport, don't you?
Yeah.
And just fucking gun down people.
No, I was talking about real war crimes that. I think that they changed.
Really?
Like Russia. What was it, like the Bridge of Death or something like that? Where it's like, yeah, America did that. Like, but it was Russia in the game.
And they're just like, oh, cool, yeah, that happened, but we'll just change it to the villain of our game instead.
Yeah.
Wow.
This series is loaded with. There's too much to go into. I think if you're enjoying it, as someone like me, where you're not going to buy the game, and you're just going to wait patiently until they all come to Game Pass now, and then you can play them mostly guilt-free. What to say, man? Like, why am I even talking about this game?
I mean,
it's Activision, and it's like, but putting that aside, I do like Call of Duty, and I am like slaughtering people. I had to like, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, or if they've just added more crap to the game. visually, just more visual noise. But I had to, adjust the field of view. I had to turn off the like the motion blur, because there's motion blur for your character and motion blur in the world as well. Yeah.
So it's like the camera's doing this.
Yeah.
And then your character's doing this.
Yeah, and
there's
like film grain as well. It's like,
Jesus.
Turn all of this off. It took me. I had to play 2 matches just to get know what I needed to turn off. It's like, I don't need this realistic war simulator game to be. I just want the shooty jump around, get killed immediately in a game of Rust and respawn. That's what. Yeah, because I couldn't believe that stuff is in multiplayer. It's like, I couldn't see. I had to turn HDR off as well. I had to turn everything off because it's just this is a mess visually. My character was like he was on a boat, just seasick, and I was just, oh my god. But anyway, once I turned all that nonsense off, I'm back. I just, I saw your comment, Ben, about it's my back hurting from all the carrying I'm doing. It's like, yes, these noobs.
So, for my Wikipediaing,
yes,
Modern Warfare is a reimagining of Modern Warfare.
Yep.
Modern Warfare 2 is a sequel to Modern Warfare. It is not a reimagining of Modern Warfare 2.
Right. Okay.
Because, let me get this right. Modern Warfare 2 is like the campaign that has you doing things with Mexican special forces, and Modern Warfare 2 is shit with Russians.
Right.
So then when we get to Modern Warfare 3, it's a sequel to the things with Mexico. And so it's definitely not a sequel to Modern Warfare 3, which was a sequel to the things with Russia.
So what's the story in this one about?
So basically, it's literally just a branching path where they're reimagined a game and then went entirely different, but kept the thing.
I think that's a smart idea.
Any of these games,
yeah,
but
I think that's a smart idea from just what do you do with
it's a smart
a series that was stagnating. I think it's a smart idea, but the naming convention
relabeling is insane.
Yeah,
what you do is you say, oh, Modern Warfare something is the reimagining, and then you're Modern Warfare something 2, so that no one gets confused that Modern Warfare 2 is not going to be Modern Warfare 2 again. Yeah. Because what you did with Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 1 is intimate that you were doing a slight change, but basically the same game.
To get out of my bubble,
when the sequels don't match, that's weird. And when the sequels to those sequels are really far apart, it's what the fuck does Modern Warfare 3 mean?
Absolutely.
To get out of this, our particular bubble, though, I think if anyone's going into, people buy these yearly, and it's what's the new Call of Duty game? Modern Warfare 3. Cool, I'll go buy it. I don't think it's going to confuse anyone at this point because everyone's okay, there's no Modern Warfare 3 on Xbox 360 that you're going to pick up anymore.
Let's be honest. No one gives a shit about these campaigns. They just want to play multiplayer. So it actually doesn't matter. No. All it means is, if you knew Modern Warfare 3 and its maps, when you buy Modern Warfare 3 and you don't get those maps, don't be shocked. That's literally the only thing that's happening right now, functionally, for most players is, wait, Modern Warfare 3 has these things. No, it doesn't. Oh, well,
that's true, actually. Because, maybe someone like me who's, maybe say I just really wanted to play, a game of Modern Warfare 3, I still can. Because I'll talk about the older games getting patches. And I was like, oh, a remake of, say, Modern Warfare 3 is my favourite Call of Duty, favourite game in the world. Oh, I'm going to buy the remake master and just be get in the game and just where are the maps? It is confusing. But to speak more of the game, is it 6 or 12 maps that are available in the beta. I think it's probably only like 6 because there's just been on a rotation of only a few that I've seen. Some are like classic ones, like Rust, which was in Modern Warfare 1 reboot in 2019, which I very much enjoy because it is just like a really small, small Nuketown-esque, close quarters kind of nonsense map where it's just carnage. And they have other things like Skid Row and Favela and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the level design is just so good. I mean, you can't get away from that. It's just whoever designed these maps back in the day, like for them to still hold up to the test of time now, it's pretty impressive from a design point of view. But what I like is there's new bits. Well, new bits that to me, and these could have been in previous games, but I like how if you get killed and you are being shot at by like 2 people, it tells you like in your like death animation or death cam or whatever, where it says, "Oh, you were being outnumbered by 2 free characters," and it's like that makes me feel better about things. It's like that makes me feel better. It's like there was nothing I could have done, even me. Who's
does it
like
also
really
tell you when you've just been like one-shotted by a sniper from across the map?
No, because that would be really you know it when it happens, but then, but that would be really
just the words "oh" come up on the screen.
Oops. Yeah, so yeah, that's nice, and I like that. So things are a bit more dynamic. Like my character, because there are Russian soldiers in this game, the Spetsnaz or whatever it is.
Well, where are they going in such a hurry?
Funny. Anyway, I like how the character just says, like when you kill somebody who's just about to kill you or something, and it goes, "Aha, miss me." The character says that, and that's usually followed by me immediately getting killed by somebody else, and it's even funnier. So yeah, it's just it's got a few.
Well, there's little random voice clips that the game has like preempted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so that's nice because you'd have the characters speaking before, like if you're calling in a kill streak or something like that. But this is it does that dynamically. And I thought that's really nice touch. And yeah, another nice touch is, I mean, everything. This is why I like Call of Duty more than like any other shooter, where everything has a decent weight to it, but it doesn't feel as heavy as I feel Battlefield is.
Sure.
It's still zippy enough. You're still running around and stuff like that. It's got enough weight to it, but it's got the smoothness and the zippiness to it. And your character has a really like nice sense of speed and sense of agility as well, which is nice. And like reloading your gun, it's like I don't know if this is the case, but it feels like if you try and jam on like reloading, it's slower almost, like sort of like in gears. That's what it feels like to me. But you can just be like, oh, when you shoot and you're out of the clip and you're still holding like the trigger, and it's like it gives you that feedback in that way, and it's like, oh, I need to reload, and it's like it's very frantic, and it feels like it's giving you that feedback in the gameplay, and it's just like obviously like I haven't played these games in a while, but those are the things that I'm noticing, and they are subtle things, but I think it just feels good, and it just feels like I play Black Ops like now and then, because especially now that they patch the servers on like all those old games and the lobbies are getting full again, and it's like just going back to that, it just feels, it's like muscle memory. And considering that game was 2010, and we're 13 years on, and I can still just jump into this and it feels the same, and it feels just as good, maybe even a little bit better and a bit more fine-tuned. It is a testament to the series, but I don't like all the stuff around it, like
where you can dress up as
it was
a
hard enough.
Or something.
Yeah, it was hard enough figuring out how to download this I had to download like what is essentially like a client.
Yeah.
The Call of Duty main app. And then I had to download, well, it was just like an 11 megabyte download for the beta. And what annoyed me about Modern Warfare 2019 was the constant updates. And I get it, it's like a live game, so to speak. I understand that, but that gets in the way of my enjoyment. The fact that the first thing that was shown to me was a battle pass. Would you like to buy the battle pass thing? That got in the way of my enjoyment. It's just I'm here to play the beta. I don't want to buy a battle pass. I don't own any of these games. Why are you asking me this after the 17 EULAs that I had to agree to so I could jump into the game? And then just, to be fair, like figuring out how I need to like how I unlock like different grips, different sights, different this and that for the guns. Like that's fairly well signposted and explained and stuff like that. So it isn't just that isn't too as bad as it has been that I have seen it. So that's a bit more straightforward for someone who's just like, I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to buy a ghillie suit that's gold or something like that completely, going against the purpose of a ghillie suit. But it's just, so that's a bit more straightforward. So that's something that I could understand. Yeah. So it's one of those very, very conflicted about this series, the studio, but they are just good games, and it's just like, I do enjoy Call of Duty, and that's why I go back to Black Ops, and it's like, simple times. And,
I mean, I remember when you when Titanfall came out, and you were like, "Oh shit, this is such a breath of fresh air," because you're a big Call of Duty fan, and it was kind of stagnating. And so, like, between traversal with the grappling hook and having the mechs and stuff, it was just like, oh, this is so close to that gameplay feel, but has something else going on.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is exactly what I want.
Yeah,
it feels like
good that you mentioned that, because that was when Ghosts came out, I think.
What these like
just after
that. Reboot path, whatever you want to call it. Modern Warfare sort of square bracket 2 square bracket, where it's like this is the second iteration of those, is doing that type of thing, where it's like, modern sensibilities, modern sucks.
Warfare.
Current sensibilities in the like framing of that game, it really worked as a reboot in 2019 or whatever. And they're now reiterating, and now we have this weird tension between what Modern Warfare 3 was and what Modern Warfare 3 is. And that doesn't matter, like, because it's not about Modern Warfare 3. It's about this, like, following this new path. And it seems like it's going well. Like, in the same way that, like, Titanfall 1 and 2, I mean, I remember... Good Lord, you were very good at those games, by the way, Lucy. I remember playing a couple matches, and you were always at the top of the leaderboard. It's like, Lucy just can do this type of game real well. But it's. I guess what I'm saying is there's something about the people who left the studios to make Titanfall had that same sort of like core sensibility of what FPSs could be. And I'm literally knitting these together via your ability, and like the fact that if Lucy's good at this, it means it's a core Call of Duty like experience.
And
like so, Titanfall was a really interesting like split, and now that they've like rebooted, you're still having that same experience. And like that's the core like notion of like what it is to be an FPS of this type, and it's not the same as the like pathway that they had before, but it is what people want from Call of Duty, which is why these things still sell well.
Yeah, because I mean, pardon the overused saying, but it is boots on the ground combat where it's just like, although I liked Infinite Warfare's campaign, I don't want to be flying over the map with my space boots. You know what I mean? I just want...
You actually want your boots to mostly be on the ground.
Yes.
Except when you're walking, and then they like briefly leave the ground because you step.
Yeah.
But then you step back down,
Mm-hmm.
and they're back on the ground.
I think
it
that's
turns
how
out
jumping
it
works.
sounds dumb, but when you design a game where that base functionality of boots leaving the ground inevitably get back on the ground within a half second, game goes bad.
Well, it's one of those where it's like, it's fair to innovate and try and innovate. Like, I remember there was maps that had like events where like half of the map would be flooded or something like that after halfway through. But I think it's fine to innovate, but like when you've got such a winning formula, it's obviously winning formula because Call of Duty's been, best-selling game every year practically for the last 10 years or whatever. 10, 15 years. It's like when you've got such a good formula, just stick with that. And I think they know how to get people to put money into the game. With this battle pass thing now, you can still make the core gameplay the same as it was. And these games sell, they're back selling a lot every year. They never stopped really, but they're back where they probably, where, I don't know, Activision shareholders are probably happy with the sales. So it's like, just don't change the gameplay too much. And I think, maybe going back to Modern Warfare and start having this, space stuff or the old time war-y stuff. It's like, the naming convention is stupid, but like maybe just stick to Modern Warfare and not have space lasers or old muskets in the game. Just stick with till Modern Warfare 79. Just.
I suppose the problem
keep
is
going along this path.
Calling something Modern Warfare is always going to be of its time, isn't it? It's sort of like we're saying that this is currently modern warfare. This is what is happening maybe at this time. So, you can say this is called Call of Duty Past Warfare because you can do stuff. So in 10 years' time, they can do stuff that's happening now and it is past warfare.
Turns out technology has gone really far ahead in the past 20 years. So modern means something different from 20 years ago, but we can't admit that. So what I really want is Call of Duty post-modern warfare.
Just a bunch of architects sit around going,
game. Drones don't exist. Just the idea of violence kills you.
Absolutely. Nothing is new.
The idea of violence the right way.
Postmodernism Call of Duty. Yeah, that would be good. No, but like some of the skill trees, I think that's the thing with Modern Warfare. They do use like weaponry, and like there's drones and stuff like that are from today. And there's this weird thing that gives like weird brainwaves to you. I'm not a gun nut. I'm not a war nut. I don't know if this is current technology, but it's like, oh, this is a very annoying kill streak. This thing that just like has these waves and just like going at you, and it's like, that's annoying. So it is based on like modern stuff, but so it does make sense with the modern warfare, and that is fun in the campaigns. To be fair, like seeing like, oh, what are the new ways I can kill these people? That is like reflective of modern day warfare. Which is, especially in this time, like the whole thing with
bringing
Israel
up drones
and
is really interesting because
gross.
Like
God,
the like drone stuff is drastically different across the two Modern Warfare trilogies, right? Like Modern Warfare OG 1, 2, 3, Modern Warfare Reboot 1, 2, 3, which again aren't. It's not a mapping of reboots. It's like we reboot one, and then we go our separate ways. Like what like you can just call in, etc., is very different, and it's like reflective of the times. But like what in actually when was Modern Warfare? Oh, I closed the tabs because I'm a
Modern Warfare was the original Modern Warfare was the first one, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was 2007.
Yeah, good. That's what I was like. I had these open because I wanted to make this note, and then I conveniently closed them because I hate having too many random open tabs. But like, what if you look at like even just like technologically what drones could do back in Modern Warfare 1 versus Modern Warfare 1, they're very different things, right?
Yeah.
And given that this is like a reboot, reimagining, and then a series coming out of it, you just aren't going to have the same sort of like experience, because what modern, this is like the joke about like, oh, postmodern warfare. It's actually like the two trilogies are, one is the postmodern warfare 1 trilogy is the second trilogy, right? Because yeah, someone had like basically a remote control on a drone and was like, maybe, and like even that was like, no, that doesn't work. And then in the second trilogy, it's like, oh, no one touches a button except like go, and then it like AI fucking tries to figure shit out, and there's not a human
and it turns back onto the human saying, I want to kill all humanity.
Yeah, and that's there's a huge functional difference between the two. And so what modern warfare means is actually very different. Yeah. Because like all your gadgets are mimicking this nonsense and not that nonsense.
Yep.
There's something to be pulled apart about that, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think switching your brain off, as most people who play these games do, it's fun.
Wait, people, wait, can you tell me how to switch my brain? Because I don't know how.
Play Call of Duty.
Play Call of Duty. That's it.
Right, it doesn't change my brain.
Oh no, I can't help you then.
It just makes me sad, Lucy. It just makes me very sad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know what the campaign is, but I think playing the campaign with, I don't know, yeah, all that jingoism and like, hurrah, kind of stuff, like, that would make you sad, but the multiplayer, multiplayer's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Good, man. Good. Like, that's what I'm going to be playing this weekend, like, there's so many other things I want to play, there's things I want to do, but it's like, I'm on the Rugby World Cup. Every second I get out, it's probably going to be playing Modern Warfare.
No, that's fair, man. That's fair.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So, yeah.
Good.
I'm hoping to play a game this weekend. I will tell you next episode if that happens.
Well, not holding my breath.
I wouldn't. We have close to 400 episodes of evidence that when Aadil says he plays a game, he wants to play a game, nothing happens.
But it's such a nice treat when you do.
Yeah.
It keeps us on our toes. It keeps us on our toes.
I literally have a huge deadline. I've worked basically until 8 p.m. for 12 days plus straight, like including weekends, and I'm trying to not do that. But I'll probably work this weekend. You know what that means? I play a game. But theoretically, because my contract doesn't make me work this weekend, it means I could play one of a couple of games I've thought about. And I will tell you next week if I have done that.
This all let up though, won't it? All this market.
Oh yeah, no. So there's the whole like union strike, blah blah blah. Monday, the 16th of October is when I'm supposed to have all the marks due from last year. Spoiler alert: I didn't hit the October 11th deadline. I'm probably not hit the 16th deadline. But by the time we next record, I should be resigned to. I did things, they haven't, or
no. But you know what I mean? It's like. It's not like this is gonna last till December,
what I'm saying is
next July. So I'm just saying, like,
my worst case
feeling
scenario
guilty
is
about
next
not
week
playing
I still
games.
haven't played a game, but the week after I will be able to play a game.
Yeah, just see, as I'm not gonna play a game. Video games are not important. Like, there's so many games that I want to play, but it's like I really should be revising. And I'm not even revising, learning first, and then revising.
Sometimes I want to escape the crappy parts of my life, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Perfectly healthy and normal.
It's like I feel very conflicted when I think, oh no, I want to play video games. But it's like they'll come to you later, Lucy. Get this sorted first.
I disagree, because I think I've had that mindset, and that's why most of the past decade I've played fewer games, because sometimes you want to pursue the thing you want to do.
Yeah. But I can't be like, okay, let's play as much as I really want to play Saltsea Chronicles, maybe I should prioritize
Oh no! So I think
learning
we're
and
saying the same
revising.
thing on different sides of the coin, which is like in the past decade you've prioritized playing games, and you're like, sometimes maybe I shouldn't. And I'm saying I have not.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just
like,
saying don't drive yourself crazy thinking I should play that game.
Right. I guess I'm saying.
all the time. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not saying you. I mean, like one might have that mindset, and I'm saying I've had the opposite mindset, which is deprioritize games and like entertainment for pleasure because of X, Y, and Z. And at some point, you have to just do that. And it turns out for me, Lego and games are really good, and I haven't done enough of them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm just saying when it's something that's such a short time window where it's like you've only got 2 weeks left.
Yeah, but actually, I think
only got like a month left.
Making time in that 2 weeks to do the thing that like gives you an outlet is also reasonable. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, but I do it to an extreme.
Don't be enveloped in any one thing. Either work and not enough games.
One needs balance.
Too much
My
games,
balance
not
is
enough
just
work. Bad.
My balance is just very off. Yeah. Where
what I'm saying is
no work and too much play makes Lucy a stupid girl.
Well, you'll both be pleased to know that I have been playing a game. I have struck a balance over the last week or two, but I'm not going to talk about it because we're out of time.
I assumed you had nothing to do.
No,
sorry.
I thought you had nothing to say, and I had nothing to say, which is why we were just harping on Lucy, because there was like, that's our content.
No, not at all.
Because otherwise I would have shut up about Call of Duty.
But Call of Duty as a... I haven't been playing anything sort of that's recent. Call of Duty as a franchise is an interesting kind of dive into seeing sort of how it's changed and the ridiculous naming conventions and what they've actually done with it. But it's good to know that, you're at a point at the moment happy with what you have played so far of the beta to see what kind of state that is in. So it has absolute merit to our conversation, and maybe again I'll touch on it next week. But I've just been playing a little bit of the Callisto Protocol, which
that would have been interesting to talk about.
I mean, I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
I both like it and dislike it.
How did you acquire it?
Taster. It's a PlayStation Plus game.
Yeah.
Already? Oh, okay.
Yeah, for October.
Because I thought it might have been. That's a good put on there.
Is
Spooky.
that? Yeah. I mean, yeah, sort of. One of the things
they could have put on the Dead Space remake.
Exactly. When did that game come out? Was it last year or the year before?
Callisto
Protocol was 2022, 1st of December 2022. So it's not even been released for a year, and it's on PlayStation Plus.
I know it was a bit of a flop. Critically, and I think maybe commercially as well. So
likely. I'll talk
I think
about
it still sold like a couple million or something like that.
I
don't know what they're expecting. For a game that's like, yeah, you can say it's Dead Space, but it doesn't have Dead Space on the thingy.
Yeah, it's not on the tin
cover.
On the carton.
And Dead Space may not have as much of a cultural cachet as it does. Well, people who like Dead Space, I don't know. It's.
But when they come out with Dead Space Modern Warfare 3, everyone's gonna be on board.
I want to play this. I'm in a spooky mood, so.
Well, that's the thing.
So from what I understand, the Dead Space remake was really, really good because it was like exactly what you want from a remake, which was it feels. Like the OG game, but that's because there's a whole bunch of quality of life things they did to the OG game because gaming sucked then and we didn't know. But
I played that.
Spend the time on the vibe.
I
played about a third of that remake like not long ago, and it still holds up. It's still pretty smooth, but apart from like the 0G stuff, maybe that's a bit iffy. But everything else, it's like it holds up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. I'll return to talk about the Callisto Protocol. We'll open up the show with it next week.
Yes, definitely.
One of the spooky games as we are in spooky season. But
let's return. I downloaded Soma because there's a non-spooky mode. Well, enemies coming
like
to get you mode.
non-aggression mode, isn't there?
Yeah.
Where they just let you walk
All
through and
games should have
experience
that.
the story. Yeah.
And I might watch a replay of like Alien
hanging out in
Isolation.
either Mexico or Russia, whatever the fuck. That's actually what I hate it. Modern Warfare 2 is the one that's Mexico and Russia split. And I just fucked it up.
Okay.
Look, something that an American might be angry at. A Call of Duty is about it.
Next game's in like Venezuela or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's in America. Let's be honest. The next movie.
Yeah, there's going to be a civil war over there soon.
Happening there that
modern
even if
warfare.
you continued the OG Modern Warfare trilogy instead of the new Modern Warfare trilogy, they think they both actually converge on. Oh no, America hates itself so much. We're just going to do it here.
There is some Call of Duty set in America where Russia invades.
Oh yeah, invades. Is it Russia or is it North Korea?
I don't remember.
There was that.
Yeah, wasn't that like
North Korea, right?
Might have been Ghosts. It might have been.
Didn't someone drop a nuke on
one of them? One of them had aliens in it.
At the start of the game. Like, oh my god, we're under attack.
There's loads of nukes in Call of Duty. To be fair. Anyway, if people love, if you want to play Call of Duty, but you want something a little bit more political, a little bit more emotional, a little bit more cutting, go and play Spec Ops: The Line. Because that's a fucking fantastic game. But let's talk about our beers for this episode and round it out for this week. I really like this Oktoberfest beer. I'll just jump straight in. The herbal kind of nature of it did come in a little bit, but I didn't like that maybe as much as I did the initial flavours. There's a little bit of lemon, a little bit of citrus to it, but it had a very slight touch of soapiness to it. So whether it was more of a sort of a peppery coriander herbal note that was coming through in there, it did, especially with having at least what it appeared to me as a touch of citrus, came across a little bit soapy in that. But it was so small that where I'm sat here kind of, taking a sip and thinking about it, it would probably have been quite easy to miss. So,
it didn't detract from it too much.
Absolutely. And I would be happy with this beer again, definitely.
Okay, good.
Rolling through as we did with opening. Aadil, you're next.
Overflow. It flowed fine. It's good. So the worry I had at the beginning was okay. So I was worried that maybe the maltiness would get used to. I would get used to that malty sweetness that kind of kept it level throughout the taste curve by the end. And I kind of because that's just how your palate acclimatized. It was fine. It did the thing. It did get softer, but not enough to make it jarring by the end. It still tasted really good. It just didn't have quite that sort of juxtaposition, but it was still a really good beer. So I think it's a good balance, and the worry I had was not really warranted.
Okay.
The worry I had was carried through, but not to the degree where it mattered, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good. And Lucy, to finish us out.
Yeah, still enjoying it. It's one of those where the sweetness lingers on your palate. Not to a cloying degree, but just lingers enough. It leaves a really nice aftertaste where not being compelled to just neck it back, even though that would be so easy. Because even though it's 8%, you can taste the alcohol, and it's very smooth, very soft, very silky. So yeah, really good, very fruity, very honey-y, very nice, very smooth.
Nice. Good.
I would buy this again in a heartbeat if I could find it again. So might have to go to Massachusetts.
Perfect. Let's do it next summer. Done.
Oh man, I'd love to. I'd love just to go to New England.
Yeah, just have a little
tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. If you, listener, have done that and you've been to New England, you played any of the games that we've talked about this evening or drank any of the beers, then get in touch. Let us know at TankedUpCast on the socials. Come and join us in our Discord as well and chat to us whenever you fancy about the beers that you're drinking or the games that you are playing. I am at Nova_47. Lucy is
Juicy Loose 9.
And Aadil is
at the Omniarch.
on social medias. Lucy, just to give a shout out at the top of the episode, another shout out now for your Substack.
I think it's juicyloose9 at substack.com.
Okay.
Or yeah, I think that's the way they order.
You could probably just go to substack.com and search juicyloose9 and it would come up, so.
I don't know what comes at the top of Google. Search juicyloose9, probably some porn site. So maybe don't do that. Yeah. Just go to Substack and then search.
Yes, go to the place directly, perhaps.
Not my own porn site, by the way. Some other Juicy
Yeah, Lucy's porn site's got a different URL.
Exactly, because I'm smarter than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And other websites.
JuicyLoose99.
Oh, you missed it, mate. You missed it. JuicyLoose69 would have been just right there. It's there for the taking.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah,
but for the taking is a different.
That's one of the categories on the very much. Go to outoflives.net as well, friends, to look at various reviews and other things that we post up. You can join us on Twitch each and every week as we record live, or watch the videos on YouTube to look at the beers as we're describing them, and check us on in the background whilst you're playing your favourite game or on your commute to work. Rate and review us on your podcast service of choice, because it's always incredibly helpful. And I think that's probably everything that we do to wrap up an episode. Does anyone have any final thoughts or anything they want to suggest?
I love how, like, on, like, porn sites, like, a lot of the content is, like, people asking for, like, Bloodborne tips and stuff like that, where it's just, like, people talking about video games. It's just like a crossing of just weird hobbies, I guess. But yeah. I guess there's a subsection of like nerds.
I mean, there are, but surely there's better places to ask that question.
It's a thing. It's a thing. I can't remember what article I read. It was probably something like Kotaku or Polygon, but it's just like, it's just like in a video that is just completely not about video games. People are like having full-on lore discussions about Dark Souls and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not even in like a cosplay.
Interesting.
Not even on like cosplay porn videos or anything like that. It's just
just like I'm going to mention Bloodborne, and some other nerd is watching this video, so they're going to engage, and then it becomes its own like thread, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to go to Reddit. Say I'm going to go in. It's just interesting.
I'm not going to go to the place. Someone may have already answered the question that I have. I'm just going to pose it on random porn video number 1, and then again on random porn video number 2. 10 minutes later. Yes, brilliant. It's a very funny.
It is.
Thing. Good.
Video games are so dumb, but they're so good at the same time.
Good. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We've been Tanked Up. We will catch you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
www.outoflives.net